Young men, understand this. Words have power, but power without wisdom is dangerous. The way you speak and the intentions behind your words shape not only how others perceive you, but also who you become. If you seek to influence someone, especially a young woman, let it not be through manipulation or shallow flattery. Instead, let your words reflect the virtues of honor, respect, and self-control. True influence is not born from trying to impress or seduce. It is born from integrity. If your words are crafted to awaken desire in someone without regard for their dignity or yours, you enslave yourself to impulses rather than mastering them. Stoicism teaches us that virtue, reason, and character are the foundation of a life well lived. So, before you speak, ask yourself, does this align with the man I strive to be? If you wish to gain the admiration of another, let it be for your virtue, not your vanity. Speak with honesty, not deceit. Treat her not as a conquest to be won, but as a soul to be respected. For the greatest allure lies not in what you say, but in who you are. A man who leads with wisdom and virtue does not need to say much. His actions and character speak louder than any words ever could. Do not reduce yourself to someone who relies on shallow tricks or false promises to gain fleeting affection. Instead, strive to be someone whose presence inspires trust, whose words encourage growth, and whose character commands respect. This is the way of the Stoic, to seek not temporary pleasure, but lasting virtue. The question is not what you can say to make someone want you in the moment, but rather, what kind of man are you becoming and how do your words reflect the depth of your character? Choose your path wisely, for that will determine not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. The measure of a man is not found in the eloquence of his words, but in the depth of his character. It is easy to say what others want to hear, to string together sentences that flatter, charm, or manipulate, but such things are hollow if they do not emerge from a foundation of integrity. Words, though powerful, are fleeting, and their impact fades when they are not supported by the truth of one's actions. To live a life of honor, one must place character above the allure of clever speech. This principle is not just a path to influence, it is the essence of what it means to live rightly. A person whose words outpace their character is like a house built on sand. When the winds come and the storms rage, the structure collapses, leaving nothing of substance behind. Those who rely on words alone to shape their identity are constantly at the mercy of others' opinions, adapting their speech to please rather than to lead. But a man of character, who speaks not to impress but to convey truth, stands firm regardless of the circumstances. His words carry weight because they are backed by a life lived in alignment with his values. It is tempting to believe that influence is a matter of saying the right thing at the right time. The world often rewards those who are quick with words, who can persuade or entertain with little effort. Yet the influence gained in this way is shallow. People may be momentarily drawn to a clever phrase or a pleasing compliment, but they will ultimately measure a person by how they live. Actions have a way of revealing what words attempt to conceal. If your words and your character do not align, you will be exposed in time. The pursuit of character over words is not easy, for it requires self-discipline and self-awareness. It demands that you reflect on your motivations before you speak, that you consider whether your words are a true expression of who you are or merely a tool to achieve some fleeting goal. This reflection can be uncomfortable, for it forces you to confront your own weaknesses and insecurities. But it is through this discomfort that growth occurs. The Stoic does not shy away from hard truths, for he understands that they are the foundation of wisdom. To place character above words is to embrace humility. It is to recognize that you are not defined by the impressions you create in others, but by the principles you uphold within yourself. This humility allows you to speak with authenticity, for you are not trying to project an image or gain approval. You are simply expressing what is true. And when you speak from this place of truth, your words resonate more deeply than any rehearsed phrase or calculated compliment ever could. Consider the difference between the man who seeks admiration through words and the man who earns respect through character. The first is always performing, always trying to anticipate what others want to hear. He is a slave to their expectations, and his identity is fragile because it depends on external validation. The second man, however, is free. He speaks not to gain approval, but to share his understanding of what is right. His identity is rooted in his principles, and so he is not swayed by the opinions of others. Even if his words are less polished, they carry an authority that cannot be faked. There is a quiet power in living with integrity. People are drawn to those who are consistent in their values, who do not waver in their commitments, and who treat others with respect regardless of the situation. This power cannot be bought or borrowed. It must be earned through daily effort and discipline. When you prioritize character over words, you become someone others can trust. They know that your words are not empty promises, but reflections of your true self. The Stoic understands that the ultimate judge of a man's worth is not the crowd, but his own conscience. To speak words that betray your principles is to harm yourself, even if others do not notice. Each time you prioritize appearances over authenticity, you weaken your character. But when you choose to speak and act in alignment with your values, you strengthen the foundation of who you are. This strength allows you to face challenges with confidence, for you know that your integrity cannot be taken from you. In a world that often values appearance over substance, choosing character over words is an act of courage. It is easier to say what others want to hear than to risk speaking the truth. It is easier to seek admiration through charm than to earn respect through integrity. But the easy path leads to a hollow life, while the difficult path leads to fulfillment. The Stoic chooses the difficult path not because it is easy, but because it is right. The man who values character above words is not concerned with impressing others. He is concerned with being the best version of himself. This does not mean he is indifferent to the feelings of others. On the contrary, he seeks to treat everyone with kindness and respect. But his kindness is not a tactic to gain favor. It is a reflection of his values. His respect is not conditional on what he can gain from someone. It is a natural expression of his understanding of their worth. To place character above words is also to recognize the limits of speech. Words can inspire, but they cannot create change on their own. They must be accompanied by action if they are to have any lasting impact. A promise means nothing if it is not kept. A declaration of values is empty if those values are not lived. The Stoic does not rely on words alone to communicate his principles. He demonstrates them through his behavior. In doing so, he sets an example for others, showing them what it means to live with integrity. The pursuit of character over words requires patience. Growth is a slow process, and there will be times when you fall short of your own standards. But these moments are not failures, they are opportunities to learn. The Stoic does not dwell on his mistakes. He acknowledges them, takes responsibility for them, and uses them as a stepping stone to become better. Each day is an opportunity to strengthen your character, to align your actions more closely with your values, and to ensure that your words reflect who you truly are. Character is not built in isolation. It is tested and refined through your interactions with others. How you speak to people, how you treat them, and how you respond to challenges all reveal the quality of your character. The Stoic understands that these moments are not obstacles but opportunities. Each interaction is a chance to practice patience, empathy, and self-control. Each challenge is a chance to demonstrate courage, resilience, and wisdom. When you prioritize character over words, you become a source of stability for others. People look to you not for what you say, but for how you live. They see in you a person who does not waver in the face of adversity, who treats others with fairness, and who speaks with honesty. This is the kind of influence that lasts, for it is not based on manipulation or charm, but on a foundation of trust. The Stoic does not seek to impress others with his words. He seeks to live in a way that speaks for itself. He knows that his worth is not determined by how others perceive him, but by how he conducts himself. This understanding frees him from the need to perform, allowing him to speak and act with authenticity, and in doing so, he achieves a kind of influence that words alone can never achieve. Respect and virtue are the bedrock of meaningful connections and enduring influence. In a world where fleeting desires and superficial interactions often take precedence, it is easy to overlook the profound impact of living with integrity and treating others with genuine respect. Yet, these qualities have a power that transcends the moment, creating a legacy that lingers long after words are forgotten. The foundation of respect lies in recognizing that every individual possesses intrinsic worth, regardless of their status, achievements, or shortcomings. It is easy to respect those who are powerful, admired, or successful, but true respect is shown when one extends it to those who are overlooked, marginalized, or in need. This kind of respect is not transactional. It is not given in expectation of something in return. Rather, it is an expression of a deeper understanding of humanity, an acknowledgement that every person has value simply by virtue of their existence. To live this way requires humility, for it means setting aside one's own ego and desires to prioritize the well-being and dignity of others. Virtue, as the guiding principle of respect, demands consistency. It is not enough to show respect in moments of convenience or to those who can offer something in return. Virtue calls for a steadfast commitment to treating others with fairness, kindness, and honesty, regardless of the circumstances. This consistency is what builds trust, for people come to see that your actions are not driven by opportunism, but by a genuine dedication to doing what is right. Trust, in turn, is the foundation of lasting influence. When others know that they can rely on you to act with integrity, they are more likely to seek your guidance, value your opinions, and be inspired by your example. Respect and virtue also serve as a shield against the corrosive effects of self-interest and short-term thinking. It is tempting to prioritize immediate gains, whether they come in the form of recognition, wealth, or power. But such pursuits often come at the expense of others and ultimately at the expense of one's own character. To act virtuously is to take the longer view, to understand that true success is not measured by what you acquire, but by the impact you have on the lives of others. Respect, when grounded in virtue, ensures that this impact is positive, that your actions leave people better off rather than diminished.